220cc Yamahas, the 390cc KTM single cylinders, and the 300cc Kawasaki's. And we've got championships up for grabs, not necessarily in this race. Dennis Charlotte leads the championship with 198 points, with Tim MacArthur on 166 points, Grant Ramage on 127, and Richard Willits in 123 with Gavin Beltmire on 99. That's in the lightweight class. Lewis Stray is on 192 points. Jacob Stroud on the 15 machine is 172, and Alex Bowers in 128. I think these guys between the whole season have podium just about all the time, with the exception of a young guy down at Christchurch. His name eludes me. There's Paul. Paul was his name, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. In fact, it'll be down here. Actually, there. No. Let's get Paul Skinner. No. Never mind. Let's get back out into the track, and it looks to me like Dennis Charlotte leads. We had plenty of drama in this race yesterday. I'll talk to you about that later on, but it is Dennis Charlotte out in the front, followed by Gavin Beltmire, and that looks like the number 92 machine of Richard Willett. So two different classes out there, the 250 production and the 300cc lightweight. When I say 300cc, it is lightweight. 300cc, also 390cc single cylinder bikes, and it's been interesting to see the battles between the different bikes down South Island, and the single cylinders sometimes dominated the class, and then you go back to the twin cylinders that had the better bits at some of the tracks, or the better performance in that. And 250 production is 250 production with very little modifications are allowed, whereas with the lightweight class you are allowed to do suspension modifications and that sort of thing, so there is a bit of difference in the rules. You'll find it out, but what a great class to have here, and it's great to see the two combined classes. Naturally, we've got a lot of the lightweight bikes out in the front. I think the top 10 bikes on the grid were lightweight bikes. Neil Ritchie.
Yeah, great to see. And folks, I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on Hampton Downs and this new development, of course, change of ownership, and the new development, the new club circuit being developed. And that circuit's going to have the ability to race both clockwise and anti-clockwise, which will mean that the club can alternate their meetings on that. So, for example, they might have done one round in the clockwise direction. The next time you can come back and do it anti-clockwise direction. Means you could keep your tyres on your bike, your slightly worn tyres that have been favoured on one side, and you'll be able to come back and ride the next event the other way. So the little club circuit, and that's going to have its complete own admin building, and will be able to be run independent from this main track. In other words, there's the potential to be here with two events running at the same time. So a fabulous new concept, and one that I'm sure the Auckland Motorcycle Club will be on, and it's been regarded as actually being a more motorcycle friendly circuit, with the opportunity to have the safety fencing further away. So it's going to be great to have more motorcycle events here at Hampton Downs in the fabulous little club circuit. So well done. Red Baron Motorcycles, New Zealand's greatest motorcycle franchise, world famous motorcycles right here in Auckland City. Proud to be behind our lightweight 250 production lineup. It was originally thought that how were we going to grow the 250 production, because it is a great class, but many of the world's manufacturers are no longer making a 250cc production-based motorcycle. They've gone to greater sizes like 300, and even at the Yamaha at 325. So it was thought that they were an unfair advantage over a 250, so the lightweight name has been introduced to it, and as time goes on, I'm sure we'll see less 250s and more of the lightweight bikes, as you've got Kawasaki in their 300 and this new KTM RC390 that the number 15 of Dennis Charlotte is on board with. So just another manufacturer, and it's always good to see, if we go right back to the glory days of 250 production, a Suzuki, a Kawasaki and a Yamaha and a Honda, and there was virtually nothing between them. They were all good bikes, which meant that you could seriously get the distributors backing riders, backing bikes, and 250 production racing had almost as much esteem as the super bikes of their era as well. So great to see that this class has got the ability to come back with the different bike brands. So there we go, Dennis Charlotte out in front of the moment, Gav Beltmire. Now there he is, Mr. Coleman Suzuki, of course, Gav Beltmire, and he too has chosen one of these awesome little KTM RC390s, courtesy of GVR and Coleman. So Gav Beltmire out there for a second place. So a great class Spider that is only growing, and as you've seen by the points, proving to be very popular. When you think it's first year, you look down at the program, we've already got 12 riders competing in this class. If it could grow to the same extent for next year and we get up around 20 odd riders, this will be a class of the future.
Well, that's 12 riders here, but we've had 18 overall compete in the New Zealand Championships, because it is quite strong down south, particularly down out of Timaru. Speaking of Timaru, there's Grant Ramage up there in second place on the 50 machine. He showed his nose right through the front yesterday in this class, and and he's been up and down in terms of not on and off the track, but up and down between first and third and fourth there on the track yesterday. Now, I can see another New Zealand Championship going in this race. We've got right now Charlotte there on 198 points, Tim MacArthur on 66 points, Grant Ramage there on 127 points. So there is 71 points between first and third. We've got 75 points available today. Why do I say that between first and third? Well, Tim MacArthur is not here at Hampton Downs, so his 166 points remains static there. So 71 points available. Once if Dennis Charlotte wins this race, he will be the New Zealand lightweight championship winner and likely possible to take the 650 Pro Twin. So about the only class he hasn't won, if he wins these, is the sidecar class and
super lights.
And super lights, yeah, and so definitely 71 points available between them.
And he's building a super light bike as well, Spider. So apparently that's the word. He's building a 400 two-stroke. So that, I understand that he'll want to come back. So he will then be able to be recognised as New Zealand's greatest and winning every championship class. What an accolade!
Oh, definitely. But he's still got to get out in the Pro Twins because Bailey Brereton is definitely a big threat. And drama aplenty yesterday. I've never seen anything like it motorcycle racing all my life. In the final lap there, along the start-finish line, Gavin Veltmeyer was on the outside and literally just rode across towards the white line. Dennis had to reach out and push him away. A bit of man-touching there, and Dennis wasn't very happy about it all, but I guess you'll read about it in the papers and the Bike Rider magazine and that sort of thing. But right now, Dennis showing a clean set of heels to the competition there. He's got about 140 metres. It's probably 2 to 3 seconds in it. The battle is on for second. We see Gavin Veltmeyer go back into second place there. It's just this little wee 390. He's got the legs on that bike of Grant Ramage's, but Grant's been around. I mean, he's got the number 50 in there. He's raced for nearly 50 years, but not quite. He's been around racing since the late 70s, I think, and him and his brother Alan Ramage doing the damage, as we say, on the 250 production class. He went to Malaysia and raced superbikes. He's done it all. He's done 6 hours. He's done so much there and just enjoys it and enjoys the North Island tour and coming away with the family and catching up with the extended family up in Auckland. But right now, the battle is on for second place. They're side by side coming out of the Pepsi Max corner. Ramage is going to try up on the inside line. No, he tucks in behind Gavin Veltmeyer on the 3 machine. This is Gavin Veltmeyer's local track, and a bit of a wobble there, Neil Ritchie, for
yes, indeed he was. I think Gavin realises the pressure he's under, and you're checking the program. Grant not ended for it. I think that was unusual because I think he made intentions very early that he was making the road trip, so unsure as to why he's not mentioned. But he's on the Timaru Yamaha, new little R3 Yamaha. This is one smug little bike, folks. I recommend checking out your favourite Yamaha shop and the likes of Red Baron, and go down and see one of these motorcycles because they are a fabulous new little motorcycle. And as you can see by Grant Ramage and his legacy of racing, I tell you what, he's been on he's actually been on 250 motorcycles since we've had an opportunity to grow weeds here at Hampton Downs well before this place was built. So looking good. And Spidey, you've been keeping an eye on those points as well.
Oh, definitely. Let's go on to the timing screen for the 250 production class, because it's hard to pick him up on the track, but it is still Lewis Dray out there in the front with Alex Bowers there in second place, Jacob Stroud in third spot. Lewis leads the championship, 192 points, 172 for Jacob Stroud and Alex Bowers on 128. So right now, if they finish in that same position, there is going to be no change. It will go down to the second race, and indeed even to the third race today. Don't forget, folks, the New Zealand TT title's up for the second race of the day. There's Dennis Charlotte coming out of the dipper there and coming across the back marker, no problems there. Ramage has broken a little bit loose from Veltmeyer, but look at the speed of this little 390 single up the centre straight there towards the Madelman corner. There was probably 8 bike lengths, and it's down to about 2 or 3 round the big street. But there, Veltmeyer's home track. He's from Auckland. He's racing 2 classes here today, but no, Ramage's bike is a little bit quicker coming over there. We saw the bigger CC bike reel it in further along the line, but yep, sorry folks, I'm just turning the microphone the wrong way, and it is playing havoc with the reception. So change of position, Neil Ritchie.
Oh, look at that. How good was that to watch? And Gav Veltmeyer in the slipstream, to literally move out of the slipstream with a little bike like that. He had to force it over and then whip it back in again to try and get the slipstream advantage back the other way. So, of course, what we mean by the other way is you gain the slipstream, but you don't want to give the slipstream back to the other rider. So it's no point in just moving aside, or the overtaken rider will then just tuck him behind you, so he had to move back. So effectively it's a flick to the left, and then it's back to the right again to get out of the slipstream advantage. Wow, so close to watch. I tell you what, these guys could do an old trick from way back in road racing when you have a bit of fun. You certainly wouldn't want to do it against a competitor that wasn't a friend, but somebody that was a mate. The famous story of reaching across and flicking the kill switch on your mate's bike as you're going to go past him. And I think those days are well gone. It's sort of more a club level thing, and we've heard the stories over the years of guys that have done that, and it is an absolute laugh and a crack up. And it just seems that some of them are just so close together, you can almost see that mirrored in the mind of somebody saying, that's all I've got to do. And that's what this good racing's all about, irrespective of whether they're a lightweight or a 250 production bike in our Red Baron class, that these bikes are just so identical that it really does show them up. And 15 for Dennis Charlotte, heading down towards the flag, and there's the title. There's another title for Dennis Charlotte. He's won them in 125s, he's won them in 600, he's won them in superbikes, and he's won this debut year of lightweight production on this very classy KTM RC390. So well done, the number 15 of Dennis Charlotte, courtesy of Superior Motorcycles, Underground Brown. Huge thanks to Underground Brown for getting him behind both Dennis and, of course, our opening round, the Grand Prix, Underground Brown, and pleased for their support behind our commentary as well. A big thanks to Tony and Vicky, and a special welcome from them up from Christchurch to join us here today. Your South Island sub-drilling specialist, leading technology for underground drilling is Underground Brown. So Dennis Charlotte taking that title. Special opportunity to acknowledge Dennis in that one, and I'm sure that'll put a smile on his face going to his new bike shop. It's almost like the whole cycle turning for Dennis, because he's put so much in behind Motorcycling Spider that to actually own a bike shop is not just perhaps a highlight from a business point of view, but I'm sure for him a personal highlight, because he's been such a major part of our sport for many good years.
Yeah, and I'm sure when you go into that shop, you can't deny getting the best technical knowledge, because Dennis is not just a rider, he works on his bikes. He's got some mechanics out there, but Dennis knows motorcycles inside and out. So congratulations, Dennis. New Zealand champion in the lightweight class on the KTM 390. Absolutely sensational win for him there, and just all-round nice guy. Him and Angela and the kids are up here as well. I think the kids are up here. I didn't actually notice. I've spent so much time over in the commentary box. Superbikes coming up. How do we know? Because Kirsten Summers and the two girls, Demi and Ursula, are up here, as well as Kirsten's brother as well. So they're up here to watch the Superbikes from the commentary box, because Dad's out there on the Superstock 1000 on the Barnes Jenkins insurance machine. So going to go over to a bit of music there, and back to Superbike shortly.
Hey, racing brought to us by Red Baron, world famous motorcycles right here in Auckland, New Zealand. Red Baron, other stores around the country, including Wellington.